I've always been a huge fan of the Evil Dead movies. The originals, Army of Darkness, the reboot. Hell, I even like Drag Me to Hell, because it reminded me of Evil Dead in a lot of ways. Now, there is a new series that is going to be airing on Starz called Ash vs. Evil Dead, and the trailer just premiered at San Diego Comic-Con, and I gotta say, it looks pretty frickin' sweet. The trailer starts with a guy talking about how his uncle was a shaman, and that he told him that evil was always lurking in the shadows, and only one man would rise to stand against it. While he is talking, we see a shot of the classic 1973 Oldsmobile Delta 88 that Ash is known to drive. Then we see Bruce Campbell reprising his role as Ash, getting ready and strapping up in his girdle. We see that Ash has gotten a little older, but he still has that same Ashley Williams attitude that we all know and love. We then see some of the famous camera work from the originals as something smashes into the door of Ash's little trailer. Then, Ash pulls up in front of a place called Value Stop. This seems to be the new S-Mart. I don't know why they didn't use S-Mart, maybe there was some legal issues or some crap, but here we are at Value Stop. Here, Ash tells Pablo, another employee of Value Stop, played by Ray Santiago, about how he and his friends opened up the Necronomicon Ex Mortis 30 years ago and woke something up in the woods. And as he tells his story, flashes of the original movies play across the screen. He explains how he was the only one to escape, and now the evil has found him. Then, back in present day, a deadite bursts through the door before Ash steps on a button on the floor, causing his famous boomstick to shoot up out of the floor. He catches it and blows the deadite away in typical Evil Dead fashion. The trailer then shows Ash pulling the Necronomicon out of an old toolbox in his trailer. I guess he has kept it all this time. We also get a look at the character of Kelly Maxwell, played by Dana De Lorenzo, and Ash then explains how he has to see a guy about a book, and that maybe there is a spell in it that can undo all this. Hopefully he says the right words this time. Klaatu Verata. Oops. We also get another old guy joke, and then Ash and Pablo pull up in front of a nice looking farmhouse in his Delta 88 with his little camper in tow behind it. Ash is explaining the plan to Pablo, telling him to just let the boomstick do all the talking, and if things get hairy, Pablo should use his broken bottle. At which point, he seems a little reluctant, since the bottle took about 50 stabs to kill a deadite, which shows splatters of buckets of gore in typical Evil Dead splatterfest fashion. We then see more old guy jokes, with Ash pulling his dentures out of a cup, which is followed by a look at some of the new evils that lurk in this world. Not just your regular deadites, but also a creepy looking possessed doll that kind of reminds me of the mini Ash scene from Army of Darkness, and also a little bit of the doll from the movie Reincarnation. That thing's creepy. Ugh. And then we see this big, ugly, tusked creature that doesn't seem to have any eyes, and it looks kinda like a Hell Knight from the Doom video games. Then we get a look at a few more cast members with Amanda Fisher, played by Jill Marie Jones, who gets stabbed through the hand by a deadite that looks like she just came out of the movie The Exorcist, followed by none other than Lucy Lawless, Xena Warrior Princess herself, as Ruby, who then saves Amanda from a deadite by pinning it to a wall with some kind of power tool perhaps. It looks similar to a reciprocating saw to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the first time Lucy Lawless and Bruce Campbell have worked together since their Xena and Hercules days. Then we see Kelly again, where she almost recreates the scene from Lucio Fulci's Zombie, where the girl gets a wood splinter through the eye, but with a deadite fingernail instead of a wood splinter. Pablo then kicks the chainsaw arm up to Ash, where he jumps to it and locks it in place mid-air, allowing him to fight off the deadite that was attacking Kelly. Then the trailer shows Ash, Kelly, and Pablo standing next to fresh graves, where Ash explains to Kelly that she is kind of like a young him. Deadites ruined her life, and she's hot as hell. To which she replies, "You know they were Jewish, right?" And Ash gets this look on his face like, shit. And he's like, no, I did not. I wish you could have said something before I made those dumb crosses. Which I thought was frickin' funny as hell. Then the trailer ends, showing the air date of Halloween, October 31st at 9 p.m. on Starz. And you better believe that I will be watching this on Halloween night. Ash vs. Evil Dead is looking like it will be one badass and hilarious show, and I can't wait to see it. This has been Doughboy with Hardcore Academy, and peace out.